What's good, y'all? It's Ali back at it again with another YouTube video in which I give you guys mental models you can use to become extremely successful and accomplish all the goals you are after. So let's get right into it. So today we're talking about the past because a lot of you niggas dwelling on the past too much. You're thinking about your past trauma and past mistakes and past failures, and you're like, I can just never move on from this. This shit is holding me back. And because you guys are so entwined with your past, or you're so bothered by what has happened in your past, you put yourself in a position where you destroy your future because you're too busy looking at the past. But your head faces forward for a reason. Your feet face forward for a reason. So that's where you're actually headed. If you're too busy looking at your past and what has happened in your past, you're ruining your future. Don't do that dumb shit. But that's why I'm here today, to make sure you don't do that dumb shit. So what does it mean? What does the past really mean in the context of you achieving your goals? So what it means is, experiences, right? Experiences you learn, key thing here, you learn from to help you achieve your future goals. That is actually how you should be viewing your past. And this is how you should be using your past. Because imagine you went through all this trauma and all this suffering and all this pain, and you've made all these mistakes and you've had all these failures, and you don't learn from it. You're just too busy thinking about it. When time is going to move forward no matter what. So you're just going to be left behind because you're just thinking about bullshit that has happened to you. But at least let all the bullshit that has happened to you pay you. By learning from it, by making sure you're like, okay, I've had these dumb situations happen to me. What can I take away from this to ensure that at least I achieve my future goals? Because you have future goals. Why would you be on my channel if you don't have future goals or shit there you're trying to achieve right fucking now? So you have to look at your future goals and be like, okay, what has happened in my past? What can I learn from my past? How can I make sure that these past things that have happened to me don't stop me from achieving future shit, and instead help me achieve this shit that I want to achieve? Well, I have to look at it. Okay, let's say, for example, you put your hand on a stove, right? And it burned you. What can you learn from that bad experience? Well, I probably shouldn't put my hand on the stove randomly. Boom, you've learned a lesson there. Now you know, okay, let me make sure not to put my hand on the stove. You just now have to extrapolate this to whatever painful stuff has happened to you in the past, or whatever mistakes you have made, or whatever failures you have made. You have to just look at it and be like, okay, what did I do wrong in these situations? What was the behavior specifically? What was the behavior that I did that led to this bad thing? As I just gave the example, when you put your hand on the stove, it burned you. So you now know I should not randomly put my hand on the stove. Now you just have to think about your own mistakes and be like, okay, what is the behavior that I did that led to this bad situation? That led to this pain, that led to this suffering, that led to this mistake, that led to this failure. And then now that you know what the behavior is, you make sure, okay, I'm not going to do the behavior anymore. So you just look at the behavior that you did, see the bad thing that happened, and be like, okay, I'm not going to do that behavior anymore because that's what led to this bad thing. So I ensure that in the future, for my future goals, or as I move forward, I'm not going to be making that mistake anymore. So I ensure that, okay, things are going to go well because I'm not making that mistake anymore, right? And just to add here, since I didn't add it prior, basically the main actionable step for today is just learn. It's literally just learn from past. That's what it is, y'all. It's just a treasure trove of a bunch of information of bullshit that you've done or been through that you can just take away from. And you just learn the behavior, right? You just look at the mistake. What was the behavior that I did before? And now let me make sure not to do that behavior anymore so I don't get this bad outcome, right? So what I will say, the one disclaimer I will give about this is, guys, just because you learn a lesson from something doesn't always mean it's the right lesson. So let me give a personal experience to explain this. So when I was a freshman in college and I was playing soccer, me and my teammate, right, we wanted to party on a Saturday, but we had training on a Sunday. So we're like deliberating. We're like, damn, nigga, I don't know. Should we go train? Should we go to this party? Should we not? I don't fucking know. He's like, man, fuck it. Let's just do it this one time. So we ended up deciding to go party. We went to go party at some other school. So, and we had to drive in the whole 9 yards. So like we were going to come back tired that night and the whole 9 yards. So we went to go, we drank, we smoked, we partied, talking to hoes, did the whole shit, right? And then we came back late that night. So the next morning, that Sunday morning, we had training. So you would think, y'all would be sitting here thinking, oh yeah, they played like shit. They fucked up. It was horrible. Bruh, that Sunday morning, we were cooking. That was the best training session that we had that season, me and him. Like, we were going crazy, cooking super hard, to the point that after that session, we were like, bro, you know what? We should just do this every single weekend. We should make sure that we just go party super hard on a Saturday before, if we have a training session, if we don't have a game. Because we had games usually on like Fridays. So we were like, okay, we're going to party on Saturday before we have that Sunday training session all the time. Because clearly this works, right? Because the lesson we learned from that behavior of going to go parties that we play well. So we thought. So now the next weekend, we tried the same shit. What do you niggas think happened? We played like shit. We played horribly, right? We're like, oh, fuck. That wasn't the right lesson, bro. We actually can't do that anymore. So we learned a new lesson that we shouldn't just assume just because we partied and played well, that's what the standard was. Like, no, we just ended up getting lucky and just had a good performance, right? It was really just luck. We just happened to have played well. So now we knew, hey, we can't do this shit anymore. So then the next weekend following, actually, no, we had a game that Saturday. The weekend after the next weekend, we made sure, nope, we're staying in, we're getting good sleep, we're eating well, we're doing everything we need to do. And then we started playing well again after the shit performance. So we're like, okay, see, like that shit was a one-off. We can't do that anymore. So I just wanted to give you guys that disclaimer so you understand the whole point of learning from your past and learning from your past mistakes is not that you're always going to even learn the right lesson, y'all, or that you've learned the right lesson when you look at the behavior that you made in the past and it led to a bad thing. And then you're like, okay, I know I shouldn't do this behavior anymore to ensure this bad thing doesn't happen. No, later on, you might try to apply that lesson of not doing that particular thing and something bad still happens. But the thing is here, now you're failing forward. You're making mistakes forward instead of stagnating. Because right now, a lot of you guys are stagnating, and that's the issue that I'm trying to get rid of from you guys. Like, I don't want you guys to stagnate. When you just think about your past and you're like, I have this trauma and this suffering, this pain, it's basically you communicating the fact that I'm staying in the same place. I'm not learning anything anymore. But the thing is, if you want to achieve your future goals, you have to continue to learn, right? And this even means if you don't learn the right thing, you might learn something. It might not be the right thing, but at least you learn something so you're moving forward, right? Because eventually you make all the mistakes. Eventually you go through all the failures as you're trying to achieve your future goals, to the point that the only behaviors that are left are the ones that are going to lead exactly to wherever you want to go. And that's the whole point of this video. I want you guys to just learn something. It might not be the right thing, but at least you're learning something to ensure that you're moving forward, because that's the goal. Stagnation is the enemy. And that's the problem you guys have with your past. You guys are allowing your past to force you to stagnate because you were dwelling on it. You're thinking about, this bullshit happened to me, so now I have to do nothing and learn nothing, which is dumb. Because you should never go through all this bullshit that you have went through and then now you just end up in the same place. No, you should take all the bullshit you went through and keep learning to the point that there's no mistakes left for you to make. Obviously, you'll always be able to make mistakes, but you'll learn from so many mistakes that good things start to happen because you're learning. You're getting better. Just like I learned my lesson from the example I just gave you guys from my own personal life. I'm like, hey, maybe it is a bad idea to drink and smoke and party right before I have a training session, even though there was this one time it worked. Understand? So you just got to extrapolate this to your own personal life and your own goals right now. So yeah, let me know how you niggas felt about this. Are you like, oh, Ali, you're so fucking right. I got to stop letting my past get in the way of me achieving my future goals, because time is going to move forward no matter what, right? And if I just sit here and do nothing, my life is only going to get progressively worse because I'm stagnating. So it's only natural for my life to get worse. I have to just look at my past experiences. I have to look at my trauma and my suffering or my mistakes or my failures from my past and learn something. At least know that, hey, when I do this behavior, this bad thing happens. So let me make sure not to do that anymore, right? It might not be the right lesson, but it is a lesson. And I could take that lesson with me into the future and learn something new again and again and again. So let me know how you guys feel about this. If you're like, oh yeah, Ali, this just makes so much fucking sense. You're a G. I fucking love you. I love the fam. I want to join the fam. Like and subscribe, y'all. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe so more guys can see this shit and not let their past get in their way. And so I can become rich and famous. Because why the fuck else would I be doing this shit for y'all? I hate you niggas. But yeah, just let me know how you guys feel about this shit. And with that being said, I'll catch y'all in the next YouTube video. Deuces.